Your final step is to be present for what matters. And you shared this fascinating study that was done by Harvard on how mind wandering and not being present in the moment actually leads to unhappiness. So what are some of those practical things that we can do to be more present in the moment that we're in right now and actually enjoy our lives? That's the ultimate goal, right?
Sure. Well, here's what's interesting. I think we need to first acknowledge that we're not present. Because if we don't know we have a problem with this, if we don't realize our attention is being divided and divided and divided, that we are addicted to our phones, addicted to input, we'll be sitting in a traffic light and pull out our phone because we can't just be still. We'll be in an elevator, which takes about 1.5 seconds to go between 2 floors, and we take out our phone because we can't just be still. And so if we cannot be still, then we can't be present. And so I think understanding how we've been so programmed, addicted, and so on to this ongoing input, if we can understand that it's a problem, then we can be more careful to guard against it. So now, for example, when I'm in elevators, I go to reach for my phone and I force myself to not.
Yes.
Because
That's
I'm aware
tough.
that it's happening. If you're not aware it's happening, you can't guard against it. But to your point about the Harvard study, what's interesting is our ability to be present also affects our ability to be happy. And we would never probably think that, right? I didn't know that until I read about this study. But what's interesting is it cited that the more present you are, the more happiness you experience regardless of what you're doing. So you might be thinking, well, Christy, I'm just in line at the grocery store. I can check my phone, right? I can just scroll my phone because that's so boring waiting in line or waiting in traffic or whatever. Research shows that we are happier when we experience what we're doing, even if what we're doing sucks. It's better than letting your mind wander or scrolling your phone. And when I think about it in my own life, I think that's true. When I ignore my phone, when I force myself, as uncomfortable as it is, to just be in the elevator or just be in traffic or just notice the world around me, notice a sunset, notice a person waving, just notice the world, you actually not only experience the moment you're in and get to experience your life, which, feels important, you get to enjoy it more. And so I think understanding the barriers to being present, guarding against it so that you can redirect your focus to what's right in front of you will help you not only be more present, but feel more balanced.
Wow. That's a fascinating study. And being present, as you're talking about all this, I'm looking back at moments I've had, even today, where I was like, I have to reach for my phone. I'm in the elevator.
We do it, don't we?
And is it because we're just uncomfortable with our environment and we just kind of need to veg out mentally?
So I cite several studies in the book, but the Social Dilemma, which I'm sure you're familiar with, the Netflix docudrama, the Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, there's some fascinating stats out there of how technology has programmed us to be addicted to input. So it doesn't matter where the input comes from. When you think about when you go to your phone, you're probably not just going one place, you're going anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Any app for anything. It could be weather, it could be YouTube, it could be text, it could be email. It doesn't matter. We're seeking input. And so when you think about that and when we begin to understand what's happening from the technology, and I don't hate technology, I don't hate phones, but I do want to lessen its control over me, my time and my peace of mind. And so when we can understand the addictive nature, then we can do a couple things. One, we can put boundaries in place to help us resist that urge, like my box example. I know that I'm going to pick up my phone, so I have to put it out of sight if I'm not going to touch it. Another thing that we can do is, and I do this with wandering thoughts. So I know entrepreneurs, man, y'all have 100 ideas a day. And one of the things that I've started doing is when my mind starts to wander, which is all the time. Jenny Allen cites this in her book, Get Out of Your Head. Humans have on average 30,000 thoughts a day. So what I've started doing is when I'm, working on something and my mind starts to wander or in a meeting, which how often does that happen? Like every day for all of us. You're in a meeting, your mind starts to wander. I ask myself a question. What is in front of me? What is in front of me? The answer to my question is always what I should be focusing on. What is in front of me? This person. What is in front of me? This meeting. What is in front of me? This project I'm working on. What is in front of me? My daughter. It's like I could be present with my kids and my mind is going through 15 to-do lists. And so as simple as this sounds, boundaries in place for the temptations we feel, like, for example, technology, but even training your brain to come back to the present. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. But it's fascinating how I know this sounds so like that self-help guru crap, but George, you feel more alive.
Oh, yeah.
I know this sounds silly, but when I go through days where I'm present in the moment, I experience the person in front of me, I experience myself, my environment, I feel literally more alive. Whereas I could stare at my phone all day and feel like a zombie.
It doesn't
like feel like
good.
a corpse. Like
Does
it's
not
like
feel good.
no. And at the end of the day, I'm like, where did my day go? I don't know. So I just want to help people put simple practices and habits in place to be present so that they can enjoy their life and actually experience their life.